What's up, guys? Animenga's back with the next episode. It's only been a week since the last one, so I'm much quicker than usual this time. So let's go ahead and get on with the 5 points because this episode is Arena of Lost Souls Part 2, the continuation of Joey and Bones' duel from Duelist Kingdom. As I said in the last video, this is one of my personal favorite duels, not only from Duelist Kingdom, but in the entire show. Probably, to me, top 20 duel in the show, just for how memorable it is. So let's just get into the 5 points. All right, so as I said, this episode's basically paired with the last episode. It's just as good as it. And what else is there to say about it? And the other point of it is the very beginning of the episode, we see stuff that the gang is doing while Joey is dueling. They keep cutting back and forth, like Tristan, Bakura, Taya, and Yugi. We see the stuff they do, like the coffin stuff from the last episode, where they get scared by the coffins, and Bakura's like, "Oh dear, oh dear," and Taya's yelling like, "Ah!" from the fake skeletons, and Tristan's like, "Man, that Pegasus has got a sick sense of humor." You said it, Tristan. And then in this one, they have to fight off a fake boulder, and it looks like Bakura dies. When I was a kid, I was like, "Dang, Bakura just died." And then Tristan, of course, being the best friend ever, stops to try to fight it by punching it. Only Tristan would try to punch out a boulder, and he's like, "Instead of running, I'm gonna fight." The way Greg Abbey voiced him there was funny. And I just love that whole thing. That was great. So that was the first point. The second point. This is I'm pretty sure I'm correct. This is the only time that Joey's Time Wizard fails him. His ability fails him in the entire show. Of the, 6 or 7 times he used it. In the show, this is the only time it failed. Let me count them. So he used it against Mai, successful. Used it against Rex, successful. Used it in this duel, unsuccessful. Used it again against Bandit Keith, successful. Used it against the Pharaoh, successful. Then we get into Battle City. Used it against Esperobus, successful, kind of. But, I mean, it worked. So technically, yes. He didn't really use it again until his duel with Kaiba. He didn't use it again until then, and he was successful there in his duel with Kaiba. And that's technically the last time he ever uses the ability. That's 7 times, I think, or 8 times. So anyway, this is the only time it's unsuccessful. And still, even though there was a chance, even though Joey messed up before that, Bones and Bandit Keith were breaking a sweat. Even Bandit Keith, you could see him visibly sweating. And he was like, Bones was like, "Boss, what do I do?" And he said, "Don't worry, Bones. Don't you know Time Wizard is a complete game of chance? So if your luck is better, you won't be wiped out, see?" And Bones is still freaking out because he knows there's a chance that he could lose. And this was obviously a weakness to zombies. Making Time Wizard honestly one of the most broken cards at that time. Yugi's grandpa had some really rare sick cards in his card shop. And Joey's really lucky to have a friend like Yugi. Let's just say that. So anyway, that's the second point. The third point. All right, we get into the most famous zombies in the history of the Yu-Gi-Oh show, of any Yu-Gi-Oh show. These zombies are this quadruple. It was a trio, but this quadruple group of zombies are the 4 most iconic zombies in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, in my opinion. So we got Pumpkin, who made his intro in this episode. Pumpkin, the King of Ghosts. We got Clown Zombie, we have Armored Zombie, and we have Dragon Zombie. Those 3 those 4 all together with Pumpkin behind them is just, I will never forget it. That's why I'm drawing it here, because it's too memorable of a scene not to draw. It's embedded in my mind. I will always remember it. It was a very special duel to me. And really, this duel was really glorified zombies and showed zombies in a really good light, like how powerful they could be. But also showed their big weaknesses. They had a couple. Makes me wonder if Time Wizard could beat the Toons in Duelist Kingdom. Kind of interesting. But anyway, um, so yeah, Pumpkin, his intro, and all the zombie in the lineup. Those other three, epic. Nothing much else to say about that. It's just epic combination of monsters. And then it's a very Halloweeny episode. If you need to watch this episode around Halloween, it makes it even better. So the fourth, oh, by the way, I had a pumpkin when I was a kid, and when I got him out of the pack, I was like, oh, the pumpkin, the king of ghosts. Even though that's not, wait, is that on his name? Yes. Oh, yes, it is. What am I saying? Yeah, Pumpkin, the king of ghosts, is his name, not just Pumpkin. So anyway, I had him, and that's all I wanted to say. The fourth point, Joey having to constantly be reminded about his sister's eye surgery and her inevitable fate if he loses. I don't know how many times his friends have to remind him. He's like, oh yeah, I gotta do it for my sister. Serenity. I love you, Joey, but you are sometimes an airhead. And then the famous Battle Warrior finish of this duel, where Yugi kind of coaches him again a little bit. This duel, he kind of goes back to coaching him a little bit near the end. Joey was proving himself, but Yugi kind of nudged him in the right way. He was like, there is one combo you can pull off still, to win this duel. And Joey figures it out with a shield and sword combo with Battle Warrior, which was really smart, playing Battle Warrior first before shield and sword, because he wouldn't have had enough attack points to finish Bones off, and he would have just summoned another zombie and won. So that was really great from Joey. Really well done. Yeah, the finish was famous. Joey's like, ultimate battle fist, and Bones is like, ugh. And he gets crushed. The most useful Battle Warrior ever was. And he was never useful again. Well, he did get one hit on Valen later, and several seasons later, but that's beside the point. So the fifth point. Bandit Keith is a true scumbag, and that's partially the reason I love him, because he's a lovable scumbag. See, he is likable, even though he's scum. It's hard to pull off, but he actually does it. I don't know if it's a combination of his voice or the fact he uses machines or what. He's kind of mysterious. I don't know. I like him. Or that he's American. Yeah, he just steals his men's star chips, his henchmen. But, he's like, you lost. And Bones is like, boss, I just did what you told me. And he, of course, before he steals the chips of his so-called friends, he has a boulder put in front of the cave that the guys went into. So Yugi and the gang can't get out. Thank goodness there was a path to get out that Pegasus had, because they would have been screwed. So anyway, that's the fifth point. The rating, exactly the same in this episode. 10 out of 10. Nothing else to say on there. 10 out of 10. As good as the last one. Episode MVP, the same also. Bandit Keith steals the show again. Joey close second this time, though, because he really shows a lot of heart. Also, one more quick note. I love the part where Red Eyes is hyped up more, and even Kaiba said it was a rare and powerful dragon. But Bandit Keith saying, Red Eyes, where did Dork get this? Sorry, excuse me, I can't talk today. He's like, Red Eyes, where did a dork like this get a card that rare? He looks like he's sweating, because Red Eyes is a powerful dragon. So anyway, 10 out of 10, MVP Bandit Keith. Hope you enjoyed this drawing I did and the rest of the video. Bye, guys.